I will say it's been a day. The original plan for this stream was going to be the new climbing game that's like been inspired by Getting Over It. That was the original plan. I was going to do that because I had a lot of fun playing Portal yesterday. I was like, you know what, I want to keep doing games. Well, that's not going to happen, unfortunately. Not today, and probably not anytime soon. Oh, hold on. What's up, Rin? $100? Oh, I'm gonna get to it. I gotta build up to it though. So I'm gonna be a little bit low energy. I'm gonna be a little bit because I think it's just from stress from everything going on. Just like my tummy is hurting. It's and I did want to bring up though before I jump into the reason everyone's here. I saw a thing on Twitter saying that WeebCon is like coming up in Texas or something like that, and I was like, oh, okay. And I clicked on the thing because it was like a promotion thing, and it's like it's apparently held at Gaylord Texas Resort, and I don't know if there's any, you know, hidden message there, but your internet was glitchy. Okay, so what happened is yesterday evening, I was basically about to go to sleep. I had more or less gotten pretty close to turning off my computer, and I was about to go take a shower and go to sleep. That was my plan. I hadn't really drank my drink that was next to me pretty much the entire evening. I was really just drinking water. So I normally have water and tea or coffee depending on what I have next to me. It's just how I feel. Well, I didn't really drink the tea that much that day. Well, the important note is that my tea is right next to my keyboard, which never is really an issue, to be honest with you. Except it was this time. The cord that I have running from my computer to my headset is on the left side where my drink is. Hi, Rye. Oh, it's okay. You haven't missed the good part. So what happened is the cord that ran from my computer to my headset was in between my water cup and my tea cup. Bad time? Oh, it's okay. The meat and potatoes is right here. I'm not gonna be like everyone else and make you sit here for 30 minutes before answering why I titled it this way. I'm eating my ice from my water bottle. See, I have contingency. Let me tell my story. So what happens is I'm gonna get up and I'm like, okay, I need to go get my towel. I need to go get, you know, my clothes, all this stuff for my shower. I push my chair out. I stand up and I pull the cord and it grabs, basically the cord was right underneath the base of the cup and it pulled the cup and it landed right on my fucking keyboard. Me has class around this time and I'm sad and I can't stay. Well, if you enjoy VOD, here, let me get the story out for you and then, you know, I can tell it better later. I got it all over my keyboard. And my keyboard's a Razer V3 Ornata. It's pretty expensive. It's like 70 bucks. But this is my contingency plan. I don't know if you can see the screen, but my contingency plan is I bought another one of these keyboards because I love them. I also bought a moron mug. So by me standing up and pulling the cord, I done fucked up. I stood up, pushed my chair out, that tightened the cable. The cable, obviously, you know, it was gonna pull it. Knocked over the tea, got all over my keyboard. It's completely fucked. There's no salvaging it. And it didn't just get all over my keyboard, by the way. It got all over me. It got all over my chair. And by the way, it was a full cup. It wasn't like half drank. I didn't drink the entire thing. I filled it up like at 5 p.m. or whatever, whenever I got home. And then I put it on my table and I didn't touch it. So it wasn't like anything good. And here's the thing, it was sweet tea. So isn't just a liquid that I had to clean up. Your clumsiness has costed you grit. Oh yeah, for sure. Oh, 100%. It got all over my keyboard, so my keyboard's fucked. The only reason I'm able to stream like with any semblance of reality is because I have a spare keyboard that I use for my work computer, which is a wireless K545 from Logitech. I love this thing, but every time I use it, I feel like I'm working and it stresses me out. But because normally that means I have to take work home. But I had to spend an hour cleaning up my table, my floor, and by the way, it almost got okay. The big woo is that I have my computer on my floor, right? Don't tell anyone I have $100 in my phone case at all. Hey, having cash in emergency is always king. But I have my computer on the floor, and on the floor, normally I have the case open because it's hot and I want airflow. Today it was closed, or that day it was closed. And I cannot tell you how grateful I am for that, because if it was open, it would have gotten over my graphics card. It would have gotten over basically half of my motherboard. I mean, it was catastrophic. Like, it would have been the most catastrophic. So it wouldn't just be the $100 that I had to spend on a new keyboard and a moron mug, the MM officially from this point on, but it also would have been my computer. And I don't have the money to replace my computer. Hell, I'm still rocking my computer from like 2018. Okay, this thing, I mean, it's a killer freaking PC, but I mean, like, I haven't, I'm still kind of close to needing to upgrade, so I'm trying to do my best to make it last as long as humanly possible. Which is why I have Rick the Emotional Support Turtle, and I have my Man I Love Fauna hat as emotional support, and I even have Marlin just chilling in the ether up in the top left. But yeah, so if you're wondering, how do you lose $100 by getting out of your chair? The keyboard was like $75, and then the mug was like $25. So plus tax. Hold on, let me look at my Amazon. Oh no, hold on, it was $85. So I debated y'all. Whoopsies. Wait, $85? Oh, sorry, no, I clipped a coupon. So it would have been $100 otherwise. Chat is appearing late again. Okay, yeah, so this is just kind of how my day is going. I'm just, I don't know what's going on. Because here's the thing, right? I have no dropped frames. I have no problems on my side. I have no idea what's going on. So, like, my stomach hurts. Stream's apparently having problems. But here's some important wisdom from Marcus Aurelius, because I was like, fuck it, you know what? He roasted me last time, maybe he'll comfort me this time. And he's like, why then does my imagine, are you doing what you do? Go away in God's name the way you came. I have no need for you. You have come in your old habit. I'm not angry with you. Go away. And he's talking about like bad thoughts that have like no value on anything. Basically like anxiety and worry. That's on book 7, section 17 if you're interested. But yeah, so Marcus Aurelius, instead of roasting me again, it looks like he's like, yeah, I've been there, done that. So I'm sorry, I'm just gonna monologue then since chat's broke. I don't know how to fix it, and I'm only gonna be here for like probably 30 minutes or so, because that's about the energy I got. So yeah, you're right. You know what? You're right. Ever since that damn BMW with the bike on its rack hit me, I've just never been the same. My stream's broken. I doused sweet tea all over my stuff. And not only that, but now things just aren't working. Damn, man, bikers. Next time I play Euro Truck, I'll make sure to play a BMW, and I will make sure to never use the what do you call them? See, I'm already taking in the persona of a BMW driver. They don't even know what the thing that shows like your blinkers. There we go. Yeah. See, there you go. Hold on. I need to go back to BMW driver. The extra stick on the side. We don't use that. I'm gonna make sure to do that and hit every single biker I see, platonically, of course. What's your plan for this stream today? I am just talking. I am just chatting. I'm gonna tell a few stories here. Maybe vent. I don't know. We'll see. And then probably call it, because this was the closest I've ever gotten to just been like, I'm just gonna cancel stream. And it's like, no. Habit is formed through discipline, and I am going to be disciplined despite the fact that I want to die. I am just, everything, my stomach hurts, I'm tired, my eyes hurt, So some good news. Great, my lisp. Ghost of Tsushima, oh my god. Ghost of Tsushima, fuck. Ghost of Tsushima is coming to PC via Steam. I'm really happy about that. I was hoping that it would happen, and I didn't expect it to happen so soon. Right, okay. Thank you for... I have not cared to share. Oh, God. I am, unimaginably, just... I'm happy about Ghost of Tsushima. That game. You know what I'm talking about. I'm happy about that game. I'm happy about Ghost of Tsushima. I'm happy about it coming to PC. Okay, now oh God. Okay, so that's my good news. Okay. That's my good news. Okay. Everything else is kind of just like, eh. So, I was looking at some of the analytics stuff that like streamers get on the Twitch dashboard and stuff, and like YouTube and all that, and it's really depressing with like how they frame stuff, because like it's not geared towards what I believe to be true success with like YouTube channel. Now obviously I don't have experience, I'm not an experienced or blah 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 streamer or anything like that, but like I know, like as a chatter, like you don't need to be on the side of the field to know how green it is, you know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to say. If you're struggling to say that, imagine you try to... So, I actually have... So, here's the funny thing about Japanese. Japanese is mostly a front mouth language. Or a back mouth. So, for example, like, tutelage. Tutelage is a word that you say mostly in the front. Whereas, like, I don't know, Aufgabe. Like, that's a German word. Like, that's in the back. Japanese is mostly spoken on the front. So, it's actually, for me, way easier. Because my lisp is from Invisalign, so I don't really... I mean, I can take it out, but I'll start whistling because I've trained myself to talk with the lisp so much. But, and I over-pronunciate too, so... But with Japanese, if I could actually speak the language, I mean, obviously you could tell I would be a Baka Gaijin, essentially, but I'd at least be passable. Cher, I'm totally not feeling lazy right now. Oh, God. Well, that's good. I'm happy to hear it. It makes me like annoyed that I'm not that way, but I'm happy to hear that you are. But yeah, the analytics and stuff on Twitch and YouTube are really depressing to like new content creators, because it stresses stuff that are like purely analytical and purely like how do you put it, like purely performance based. And that really sucks if you're like very like goal oriented. Nihonji wakara nai. I don't know. I don't know Japanese. Oh God. Don't quiz me. I will fail. But those analytics, like they were showing me like watch time and stuff like that, and like they were showing me like zeros for a lot of stuff, and I'm like, this is so depressing for a new streamer. Like it doesn't make sense. Like you would think that they would want to incentivize new streamers by like giving them analytics that they can like pat themselves on the back on, like, you know, instead of putting front and center that like there are 0 subscribers or 0 blah blah blah, they should put like, oh, you know, like how many chatter, like the things that actually like go like, hey, this is what you've actually done, as opposed to what you haven't yet. Are you talking about the one you sent me on SoundCloud? I think. Oh God, my memory is crap. If it's that song, send them the SoundCloud link. But I just derailed myself. Yeah, so you'll notice actually that the more tired I get and the more like I get really bad with tangents, like way worse than I already am, by the way. I know I'm bad, but my memory gets worse too, because I'm normally able to kind of like bounce back and stuff, but I'm like catching myself, and I'm like, I'm gonna have a lot of fun watching this VOD back. I'm just gonna put it that way. I still haven't gotten through my Portal one because it's like 2 hours, but yeah, the thing that I'm worried about, right, is I've always been bad with monetizing stuff, so I had this really intrusive thought when I was driving home, and I was like, what if there are people who actually want to spend money on merchandise that I create? Like, what would be, like, not even talking about the product, but like the business model, like what would I do? And I'm like, well, if I were to sell stuff, anything, doesn't matter, whether it's like a sticker or like, you know, whatever, I want it to be something where no matter what you pay for it, whether little or a lot, it's something you won't reasonably regret. So like if you buy it, you're not disappointed with the product, right? but you're also like you not only were willing to part with that dollar amount, but you got the value out of it, right? Like, have you ever spent like $5 on Netflix and watched like 3 days worth of stuff? Like, obviously, I don't think I'll be able to provide that type of value, but like, if you spend $5 on something and you get like way more in value, that's what I want to strive for. We doing tangents? I got one. So I enjoy doing theater and performing. It's such busy work. Yeah, I never did theater or performing arts or anything like that in high school, but I did do mock trial, which is basically legal theater in college, and I was really good at it. And I really enjoyed it. But your side was behind. Oh, thank God. Oh, Rin, that is. See, thank you. So two pieces of good news today. One, Ghost of Tsushima is coming out, and second, it wasn't my stream that was broken. Thank God, it was just a small issue. Yeah, try refreshing. Yeah, also, here's a fun tip. If you watch HoloLive or any, like, YouTubers that stream, if you're like, man, why does chat not seem to be coming out the same time as when they're talking? Hit the cog and hit the 2x speed. So you can either refresh the page to get it back on, like, like when it's actually going. And if you don't want to do that, you can speed up 2 times and it'll catch up. And it doesn't tell you this. It never does. I actually had to figure this out through a chatter. How do you share the song? I turn my brain on and off. Yeah. I am very good at choosing when I want to use mental resources. And normally I save them for stream, work, and like social stuff. Otherwise it's off. But sometimes like you don't control it. Like sometimes like whenever you go to sleep, when you're laying down, you're finally able to relax. So you have your first free thought of the day type of situation. And then that's when the most like horrible questions come out. It's like, hey, are you behind on your goals? And it's like, bro, I gotta wake up at 7 tomorrow. Like now is not a good time for this. No, Marcus was actually a really cool guy. I mean, you know, if you really know Marcus Aurelius, you can object on a lot of his policies and stuff. But, you know, if we're talking about Marcus Aurelius, the person, he had a lot of issues that we all had today. It's just that, like, back in those days, there was no Facebook or Twitter where they couldn't shitpost and talk about how, like, they were depressed all the time. Back then, they just had to thug it out because that's the only option they had. Don't remind me of Duolingo? Yeah, really. And, like, freaking Marcus Aurelius, he was a guy who, I mean, obviously, I'm not an expert, so don't quote me, but he had the same issues that we basically had. It's just for different reasons and different things, right? Like, he had anxiety. Like that passage I read, he was talking about intrusive thoughts. And he was like, why am I worrying about this thing that doesn't matter, right? And that's actually, that's a perfect segue into my point of, like, when you're laying down at night, like, that's probably when Marcus had that, like, revelation. He was like, why are you here? Like, happiness is such a divine blessing. Like, be gone from me, these weird, you know, anxiety-causing questions. But, yeah, I'm just kind of thugging it out. But the good news is that as time goes on, these issues go away. I've rectified the issue. I have my moron cup. I have my replacement keyboard. And thank God I have my backup keyboard so I can at least type on stuff. But yeah, the keyboard that I spilled everything on, all the keys don't work. Like, you know how, like, normally when you spill stuff on keyboards and stuff, like, you have a few keys that are really sticky, but, like, most of the other ones are fine? No, the entire left side of the keyboard doesn't fucking work. The space bar is completely locked up. The middle part of the keyboard is, like, really off and on sticky. The only thing that has a semblance of, like, control, ironically, is the right control, the right shift, right enter, because that's, like, kind of out of the splash zone. And here's the funny thing. The keypad, the reason the keypad doesn't work, no tea really got on it. I had spilled tea on that part of the keyboard like a year prior. So I was like, you know what? I'm not only going to replace the keyboard, I'm going to get my moron cup and I'm going to use it. Because I have a moron cup for coffee and it's dual purpose. It's one to keep it like in a contained vestibule, but also to like prevent it from spilling when I'm driving and stuff like that. And also it keeps it warm longer. So, but now I have it for water as well. And the next logical step was tea, so there we go there. But one thing I will say that I haven't been able to figure out, which is a problem for me, I'm going to take down this because I don't want to remind myself I'm an idiot, is Uh, I am trying to figure out how to master like expressions and stuff because I'm a fairly expressive person. I like to think. I doubled down with the fuck up. Yeah, I did. I still can't believe that though, because I was like, a keypad, like, you don't really need it. It works, but it's not great. But it's so dumb of me. And you have an amazed emote in your model. Yeah, I have a few. Like for example, I don't have them memorized, but this one is the one that I need to be using the most. Oh, and I can't. I have to do this because. There we go. All right, yeah, we'll just have this one going. This is the only one I have memorized, by the way. But there are like 4 or 5, I believe. So, like, oh. Okay, not gonna lie to you. That made me feel like I took my entire clothes off in front of like an assembly of people. I don't know if my reaction carried it through. I think it did, but whoa. I hate this one. I hate the ones where you have because it looks so unorganic. It's like, oh, I do have this one. This one isn't bound to anything, but this is, hold on, I need to set the scene here. Mr. Turtle and Yago-san. Okay, we're gonna, okay. Y'all ready? Y'all ready for this? Oh, shit. Hold on, everything's fine. I did this like twice pre-stream because I was like, oh, I want to get this right. Yeah, I don't want to talk about it. Okay, we're back. So, oh my god, I'm looking at the preview on Twitch. That's actually really fucking funny. Oh my god, that's actually good. Yeah, and the cool thing is that I have, if you're curious, I have the Razer Basilisk V3, and the cool feature is that it has the 2 buttons on the left side for like forward and back, but it also has the, like the DPI change and all that, which is cool. That's pretty typical. But the one thing it has that I've always wanted is when I'm working, I use a Logitech mouse because it has the infinite scroll thing, which is, in my opinion, like really, really important, especially when you're like scrubbing through 1,000-page PDFs, right? Like that's just, you need to have it. And I was like, I want a gaming mouse with that, and I couldn't find one. And then Razer was like, oh hey, look at this, you have a free scroll. So like if you're ever wondering how they're like people are able to do that, that's how. Because I just put my infinite scroll on and just hit, and I went crazy. And it is so nice when you're like scrolling through PDFs or like things like that, because it allows you to get like, instead of like, like scrolling for like 3 hours a day, you're able to actually like make a lot of tangible progress instead of just sitting there and waiting. Or like instead of like doing Control F and looking for the page and hoping that that's the right one that PDF has. Because sorry, I'm ranting about Adobe. Adobe has a thing where like the pages on the document doesn't mean that that's going to be the page that you'll go to. So you'll go to like page 85 on a PDF and it'll be like actually page 100 in the book. And it's like, but with the infinite scroll, you can get there really easy. All right. Yeah, I appreciate you sticking around. You have a good one. Take care and have fun. And get back when you can. Yeah, this is gonna be a pretty short stream, so don't be surprised if I'm gone. Take care, right? It's nice having you here. I'm glad you were able to join. Oh man, yeah. I actually think I'm probably within a few minutes I'm gonna close it out because I went through like so many of oh god, I can't even speak anymore. Okay, I'm just gonna move on to my next point. Oh, I know. There we go. I was trying to think of what I was thinking about. Yeah, the model expressions and stuff. Like, there's like, I know that this is coming from a point of privilege, so I recognize that, but I think it's important as well if anyone else is interested and like just happens to see this. Like, when you're trying to model the expressions for a model, okay, that sounds weird. Like, whenever you're in VTube Studio and you have your model, right? Whether you're using Asuka or you're using anything else, like a custom one or like one of the preset ones or whatever, or the free ones like this one is. You still have to set up the mouth tracking and stuff. So even if you have really good mouth tracking like I do with the iPhone, you have to do a lot of like, what do you call it? A lot of like very specific tinkering. And Shy Lily actually spoke about this, like the difference between her tracking, which is, by the way, incredible, and like most others, is that she has spent an incredible amount of time tinkering with the absolute specifics of like You know, what are the metrics for frowning? What are the metrics for a deadpan face? What is the metric for smiling or talking? And that's really important, especially when you think about the fact of like, from like a nobody's perspective, which is me, right? Like, I'm just a dude, right? I always want to be that way, because if I'm anything but a dude, I get scared. And I mean that in the most pure way possible. Like, it becomes really difficult. Yeah, I'm just a little guy. And but I want like to be decent, right? And I always, like, I used to be a really bad perfectionist, and I to be honest with you, I still am. And it really has caused me problems my entire life. So, but in the past few years, I've kind of changed from being perfect to be decent, right? And I have decent undefined, and whenever it's undefined, that means that if it's within a ballpark, I'm okay. But with perfectionism, right, like, it's like, wait a second, the font's off. I need a different font. It doesn't give this mood. And it's like, eh. So it kind of curtails that, like, tendency to want to just be asinine with, like, specificity. It's the biker's fault. See, here's the thing, right? Like, I don't really have beef with bikers, right? Like, I don't care. I just think that, especially in the United States, it's a car world, right? Like, that's just how it is, right? For better or for worse, regardless of how you feel about it, it's just, that's how it is. But the problem is that where there are cars and bikes, the way that cities have decided to, like they give bikers, just regular bikes or, like, motorcycles and stuff, like, their own lanes, and then they fuck over the car people, right? And it's like, this is not compromise. This is just stupid, right? Like, I'm fine with it. It's cool. Have your bike lane. We give buses bus lanes, and we don't bitch about it. I mean, we do, but, like, we're like, okay, they need it, right? Because buses, obviously, like, it's either they take the slow lane or they take their own lane, and then you have 2 lanes of traffic, right? Like, that in my opinion, like, that's a tangible compromise. But bike lanes, they're like, yeah, let's put them in downtown, and we're gonna put them in the middle of the 2 lanes. And whenever there are people around, I'm going to make sure that I'm not going to use the bike lane. I'm going to stay in the car lane. And you know why they do it? Because the car lane is made out of actual asphalt. So they get good grip, they get good speed, and all that stuff. And in the bike lane, it's made out of cheap-ass concrete that is really prone to slipping in like, wet weather and stuff. And it's like, guys, this is not how we compromise. And this is how it is all over the country. It doesn't matter where you are. Right? Like, my issue that I've just brought out and told, this is just how it is in all of America. And that's if you have bike compromises. Most cities don't. Most cities are like, yeah, just you know, obey the traffic rules and go in the slow lane. And it's like, I started saying this because there are so many videos of motorcycles getting hit. Then people say it's the biker's fault for not seeing it a mile away. Well, the problem with a lot of those is mainly, like, if I'm honest with you, a lot of those, like, incidences are because people are going too fast. People don't realize that, like, and this is reality. If you're driving any vehicle at 10 miles per hour, you have a high chance of death. Because the energy transfer between a 6,000 pound vehicle and another 6,000 pound vehicle colliding at 10 miles per hour, the energy transmission from those 2 objects colliding is insane. Now imagine what happens when a 6,000 pound vehicle, or 3,000, only a matter of a few thousand pounds, but they're still a few thousand pounds, hitting well, it doesn't even matter if they have armor on. It really doesn't. The energy transfer, even if they have no surface wounds, is catastrophic. Oh, I am not following any politics. Dude, I have had such a bad few days. Well, not really. It's just been yesterday night and today. So I'm not even looking at anything. I don't care. I've got too many. And here's the thing. I used to be not fervent, but, like, I used to really take, like, politics seriously. Not really, like, seriously as in, like, I went out and protest or anything. I'm just saying, like, I used to really follow it. Now I just don't. Because here's the thing, right? Like, I vote and stuff, right? But that's my own, you know, thing. But what can one person do? What can I do? And I do it whenever I have the opportunity for one person. I do it. But, you know, I can't change the world. And to be honest with you, I don't want to. because I don't. That's gonna require my entire life just to help other people, which I can't even help myself at the moment. So let's tone it down, right? But yeah, I just like life is difficult. That's why I'm an anime boy, because this is really fun. I really enjoy being a goober, swimming in Tokyo Bay. That's what I like doing. Okay, got Mount Fuji in the background. I got Rick the emotional sport turtle. I got Marlin the Marlin. I got the Yago hat because I'm still too lazy to edit it out and do it. But hey, I mean, if you're happy, I'm happy, right? Happy chat, happy streamer, right? A change of adage from what is it called? Happy wife, happy life. We're gonna force you to help. Don't worry, in the future, gonna make sure I get people to get you on the ballot. Oh man, I have been told ever since I was a kid, oh, you're gonna be a judge. Oh, you're gonna be the president. And even I remember the first time I heard that, I was like 11 or something, and I'm like, I'm not corrupt. I'm not gonna. And I know this is very political, but this isn't aimed to any one party, so I'm good. I'm being Switzerland at the moment. Now you're just blowing smoke up my ass, Rin. Fuck you. Is like, if I were ever to go into politics, which I never will, I would not make any money, because I would just be solely focused on doing my job. Because I've said this before, but I see political office as service. I don't see it as opportunity. I see it as you're being hired to do one of the hardest fucking jobs to do right, which is why so many people do it wrong. And doesn't matter how qualified you are. It isn't really about like how moral and principled you are. It's about when you're in those really shitty decisions, are you going to make the right choice? And that's the difficulty. Hey, don't assume I'm going to do anything, okay? And these hypotheticals are dangerous, right? Because with hypotheticals come assumptions, and assumptions are the death of logic. And I want to be as reasonable as I can, because let's be real, right? I have been stuck in Tokyo Bay. I have been treading water in Tokyo Bay for almost a month now, okay? And I have no hope of reaching land. Now, I have really good conversation. I have a few friends. I don't know if Rick and Marlon are real. I don't know if you're real, but the voices tell me you are, so I'm just going to roll with it. But, yeah, the other thing is, this is the final point that I got for today, and then I'm going to close out stream. So, once again, I'm sorry about the short stream, which, I was really hoping on, like, kind of hitting, like, an hour kind of minimum, and kind of, like, aiming for that, so that anyone watching is like, oh, I got a good hour of content. Hopefully this is content. I don't know. But, reasonable got it, you're not gonna be good. Oh, God. I'm gonna pretend I don't know what you mean. I do, though, want to, like, come up with, like, lore. Not, like, anything crazy. Like, I don't think, like, okay, I can play a character, okay? I've done that. I'm really good at it, but I don't want this to be, like, you know, like, when you look at, like, company VTubers, like, corporate VTubers, like, okay, who have I not used? Like, Mr. Rias, right? Now formerly known as K9 Kuro. Right? Formerly known as Mr. Rias. Right? He has his character, right? He's a demon dog from Undead or whatever, right? That's cool. That's cool as shit. That's fucking awesome. But, like, he's not constantly saying, like, oh, yeah, I'm the demon dog, right? God, Ren. Oh, God. By the way, I wanted to ask you, are your friends still giving you shit for being so political? I remember you were saying that your friends were, like, didn't want you to talk about politics that much. And I'm wondering if they're still giving you shit for it. I'm hoping that you were able to kind of see my point there of, like, you know, there's a time and place for it as well, but the more important is just hanging out and being with your bud. Because I'll be honest with you, I've had friends that I've known for like 20 years. I've had them for like 20 years, and I still don't know what the fuck their political opinion is, because they're just my friends. Some of them don't because some agree. Some of them don't because some... Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, that's not that's always like, it's good to be like, well, let me be sage about how I'm going to say this, because it's important. I think that there are times and places to talk about politics, right? But if they're your friend, right, it's not your job or duty to like inform them, right? Like if they ask, that's the door opening for you, right? But 99% of the time, the door is normally closed. So, and I don't know if this is important to you. If it isn't, then just completely ignore me. But like, if you want to maximize the amount of friends that you have, only walk in when the door is opened, right? And you gotta be gentle like a newborn child with it, right? Because like politics especially, people take it into their like being, their fiber. So you gotta be careful. Well, everyone's gonna shit on you for something, right? It doesn't matter what it is, right? Like, you know, how do I say it? Like, I have how I want to say it. It's just my brain is faster than my mouth. That sounds weird. Like, people will give you shit for anything. It doesn't really matter what it is. Like, even the most benign thing. I remember I got shit because my favorite color was white. Right? People were like, oh, well, white's not a real color. I'm like, okay, if you don't accept white, then blue. You know, it's like, whatever. And they were like, oh, well, are you being racist? And I'm like, no. When did race get into this? It's like, what? So people are going to give you shit for everything. Just roll with the punches. But if you don't care about the BS that comes with being fervently like passionate about something, so be it. But I recommend, because it'll be important as consequences become higher, right? Know when to walk in the door. I gave him a recommendation. He said it was crap. Jeez. Okay. Now, I'm not going to give you advice. I'm just going to give you a recommendation. Okay, so hint, hint, nudge, nudge. Probably not a good idea to fuck with him. Probably not a good idea. I don't know. I've always been averse to confrontation because it's never worth it. And as someone who's been through high school, college, and a lot of other things, it's still true. It just ain't worth it, bro. I'll tell you right out the gate, it ain't worth it. Especially when, like, even if they don't mean it, it's just, ugh. Well, normally when people brag about something, it's the thing they want to be, but aren't. They're just pretends. But the problem is that you can't assume that's always the truth. You don't want to find out that you're dealing with the exception, right? And they're just abhorrently stupid, right? You don't want to fuck with them. And I don't mean fuck with them in the sense of like ignore them completely. I'm just saying, like, you have a tongue, but you can lose it. So be wise with it, right? If you keep your tongue wise, everything else will be fine. And I'm not saying, like, oh, be subservient or submissive. I'm just saying, like, let people think they're right, and then let the universe tell them they're wrong, you know? Because ultimately, like, there's no value in being the scapegoat or the sacrificial lamb, right? Because the scapegoat always gets burned, and the sacrificial lamb normally always dies. So it's like, you don't want to mess with it. But yeah, in general, it's a good idea to always be kind with people, even when they're not kind to you. And the reason why is because you disarm them in so many of their strategies that they normally use to, like, get an upper hand on people. But, like, for example, I was in a place where you get beverages, and this guy was just, like, picking on random people. And I guess I looked small enough, I suppose. I'm 6 foot, but whatever. I guess I just looked like a guy that he could take on. And he kept, like, just talking shit. He was super drunk, so he was blathering, but I was like, how are you doing, man? Hey, you're looking good. And basically the greater the insult he would hurl at me, the greater the compliment I would give back. So even though I was losing in the verbal dispute, everyone in the little establishment I was in was looking at him and going, wow, this guy's a piece of shit. And you know what I did? All I did was I was nice. So there's a lot to be said about getting out of situations. Well, like I said, you know, one of the most important things you can learn is when to be quiet. I'm kind of not listening because I feel it's kind of like important to. I don't mean this in a disrespectful manner, but kind of like lecture you, because like I know people who have gotten into some serious shit because they've dealt with this crap, and I'm just trying to help. That's all. But well, they just don't like you. People don't need to have reasons to like you or dislike you. That's one of the problems that we have, right? Like, have you ever looked at a painting and just went, I don't like this painting? And there's no reason. You're just like, I don't like it. People are like that. And it's not necessarily a good or bad thing. It's just how we are. It's called natural prejudice, right? It's just the natural feeling you have towards the people. Now, the dangerous part is that well, that's the thing. But I'm just saying, right, like, I didn't say what the content of the painting is, what the actual painting is. I just said it's a painting. And let's say you looked at the painting and said, I don't like it. But I don't mean in the sense of like you walked up to and said it's ugly, because that's an opinion that you formed. What I'm saying is that it's an opinion that you walk up to something and go, it's just whatever, right? And maybe you form from that like prejudice, that first sense impression, that like, oh, it's ugly. That's cool, that's fine. But like that's how people are, and that's okay, right? I have had so many people that just don't like me, and they've never had a good reason. And then the moment they hear me talk and the moment they interact with me, they change their tune. And that's okay. We have those built into us to defend us against BS. And I also put up kind of like a, don't fuck with me. I just want to do my own thing and be left the fuck alone. But I'm actually a very sociable person despite appearances. But ow. Well, the other thing too is that you have to realize that, you know, let's assume it's just that prejudice, right? It's just that they just don't like you. That's okay. It happens. But the one that you should be worried about is like, do they possibly have a good reason to not like you, right? Like, instead of them being the problem, could it be you? If you've eliminated the part where it's like, oh yeah, I'm not the problem, then yeah, it's no skin off your back. Don't worry about it. Because people are going to be gross. People are going to be icky. There is no reason at all. I know that. Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of asking you to be omnipotent, but, you know, I'm also asking you to take that standpoint as well. Like, if people don't like you, the first thing you should think of, is there a reason? And eliminate any possible things that are there, right? I'm not asking you to be, like, self-conscious or anything. I'm just saying, like, you know, did you throw a box of kittens down a staircase in front of them? You know, like, it's stupid, simple stuff. But, like, if there isn't, just ignore them. Because people are going to be gross and people are going to be mean, and you can't change them. And there's no point. You know, you're not going to make them better. Oh, I'm at 20% battery. You're not going to make them better. And if by trying to interact with them, they're going to make you worse. They're going to drag you down to their lowest point, and they're going to beat you with experience. That's how it always works. So just take the high road. It's going to be the difficult one, because it always is the difficult one. Just take it. And then once you've been doing it for a few years, which you probably have, you know, it becomes habit. You're just like, I got to do this again. But yeah. I mean, it is what it is, you know. You just gotta thug it out, right? Like I never really had exactly that, but I did have people that didn't like or dislike me. They just didn't really associate with me, which that's fine. I don't care. And you know, I did hear the weird random rumor behind my back, but I knew it wasn't true, so I didn't bother changing it because I don't really care what people think of me. It doesn't have any effect on anything, so why bother? Right? I'm not going to go and vindicate myself in front of the entire school by proving something that isn't true. Right? Even if I lose in the court of public opinion, I know the truth. And the truth will always be more convincing and more persuasive than anything in the world. So, yeah. And I never, you know, and that was in high school back way long ago. Eons ago. And I don't care. I remember like few things, but like most of the people that I knew in high school, I wouldn't hang out with them now, so I don't care. It's like getting a random flame on Twitter. It's like, who are you? Mute, ignore. Well, I mean, that's the problem, right? You're opening a door they didn't want opened, right? You got to be careful with that, because even if you're right, and here's the thing, right? I'm not saying you're right. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying I'm giving you experience, right? People don't like being told they're wrong, and people don't like being proven they're wrong, and most people don't like being challenged in their opinions. They're not necessarily closed-minded. We call them that, but normally it's because they don't want to bother, because they don't have a reason to change it. So why do they? Yeah, that should have been a kind of red flag for you to shut the fuck up. You were never gonna win that. You were never gonna win that in a million fucking years. Well, at least you're getting the experience now with how shit goes. But that is actually hilarious. Yeah. Is it worth it? I don't know. If you think it is, go for it. But I don't know. I am, like I said, I'm very averse to confrontation. I won that battle. Well, you may have won the battle, but you may have lost other things. So, you know, having to deal with these two altercations are probably byproducts of that, because I imagine there was probably a rumor going around about X, Y, and Z. And because probably there aren't a lot of people that want to back you, that kind of gets around. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. But like I said, I am very risk averse for everything. Like, technically speaking, if we're talking about risk averse, I should technically not even be having this conversation. I should be ignoring it. Because, like I said, I don't care about, well, I do care about politics, but I don't talk about it on stream. Because, like, what if, okay, because here's from my perspective, right? What if someone comes into the stream, here's this conversation, and could be, like, a fantastic, like, just another awesome person to chat about, oh my god, I can't speak, to talk with, right? But because we're opening to a door that they didn't want opened, and they're not cool with it, they're like, I'll click off. Oh, that's good. That's good. Yeah, but generally speaking, changing schools, I mean... Nah, I'm just a moron. Ignore me. Wait. I misread the sentence. That's why. Oh, okay, I see. Yeah, don't worry about it. But yeah, like I was saying, like, I tend to, like... Because like I said before, I'm not supposed to be, and I don't want to be, the person you get your wisdom from, right? Like I said, my maxim at the very beginning is to be interesting, right? Like that's what I want to do with my streams. And if I'm interesting, I've succeeded. Now, interesting is a very broad word, which I hope to add, like, maybe funny, like, be funny and interesting, but teacher, oh god, there you go. Yeah. Well, let me dish you some wisdom. I bet you $100 it's better just to shut up around people than it is to fight for your point, because ultimately the end result is the same, and normally you always lose. And what I mean by lose is that you may win the battle insofar as the argument, you may be intellectually superior, or not intellectually superior, but intellectually correct from a logical or philosophical position, but the problem is that people don't really know how to critically think, people don't really want to critically think, so they're just going to go with the emotion. So instead of going like, oh yeah, he proved his argument reasonably with good premises, sound conclusions, and they were cross-referenced, they just think, oh, he's an asshole. That's the reality. So, I mean, if you want the reputation of being an asshole, you know, that's your call, brother. That's your call, you know, but everyone has their own flag that they fly. Mine, I wear it, of course, but I don't deal with people, right? Because I have no battery. I have no energy for that stuff. Well, I'm not saying I'm assuming you're talking to the previous point and not like using it as like saying to me directly. But like what I mean by like being quiet isn't like silencing yourself. I'm saying there are times when you should use that privilege in a manner where you will get tangible results instead of in a place where, like, let's be real, right? Like, you're not changing their minds. You're not making their lives better. You're not really doing anything. You're just kind of causing problems for yourself, right? Like, has their life gotten better? Has your life gotten better? It sounds like it hasn't. If you're dealing with that particular issue, you're probably being targeted because of something you did. You're free to say whatever you want, which is one of the most important parts of the First Amendment, but the problem that isn't in it is that, and it's supposed to be assumed, is not implied, by the way, just assumed from the language, you're not free from consequence, right? You're free to fight that. You're free to talk about whatever and whomever and whatever, but you're not free from the consequences from the point of perspective of like legally or also like socially, right? Because even if the law says one thing, humans, the social part, there's going to be another, right? Okay, then I know the type you're talking about. Yeah, these are just people who like have like they're like very closeted narcissists that like really only care about their friend group, and they have like very brittle self-esteem and low ego and stuff like that, and they normally like put down other people as a way to increase their own status and so on and so forth. Yeah, that's the type. Yeah, just ignore them. They will bring you nothing but ill. They will not do anything good for you. They will just cause you problems. But let's see here. Yeah, I do really want to get glasses as an asset, and I have a few of them, but I don't know how to fucking rig them. Like, I've spent so much time trying to figure out how to do it, and it just doesn't look good. And it's like, rah! Yeah, just ignore them. Because teachers, they have their hands tied. Like, if you think about it, right, teachers are under an incredible amount of, like, effort and a lot of restriction. Like, they can't do, like, 90% of the shit that they really should be able to do because of laws. And if they do, they lose their fucking job. And they're always in front of people, so they can't even do shit underhanded. And it's like, even if they do shit underhanded, it's normally illegal, too. So it's like, get the Jack Black shades. Yeah, I have a few of them in mind, like black shades. Mainly the ones I wanted to go for were like reader glasses and shit. Just to, I don't know, have them. And also like shades. But yeah, the Jack Black ones are also like up there. I think, the model, the asset. And thankfully what's cool is that the community is really cool with like giving out assets and stuff to people. They really like giving people like the opportunity to wear a lot of stuff. Yeah, become Jack Black. Now, all I need to do is sing like a normal person, but make it sound way better, and then I'll be Jack Black. And then I need to gain like 100 pounds. Actually, has he lost weight recently? I hope he has. He's not getting any younger. Oh yeah, he's lost some good weight. Make another School of Rock. Man, I love that movie. It's such a good movie. It's still crazy to me that he did the soundtrack for the Mario movie. I mean, he didn't do the soundtrack, but I mean, like, he did a song in it, and it's like, whoa, really? Like, that's pretty incredible. Especially with the fact, like, I mean, he has such a distinguished career, right? Well, School of Rock is a cult classic nowadays, right? When did it come out? Normally, what people normally see is, like, within 10 years. Yeah, 2003. 2003? Wow. 2003. Wow. All right. Well, I feel young. I thought it was in 19 something. Yeah, it's not in the previous century, thankfully. It's only in 2003. But that's the problem. Those were, like, late-era 90s movies, right? They came out in 2003, but, like, they were made for the 90s era. That's like the feeling they had. I do miss all the old school animation though, like the hand-drawn one, like the, what was it? There's still a scene, like whether you like it or not, like in terms of the content, the fucking scene where Moses parts the sea and that, hold on. What is it called? The Prince of Egypt. There we go. That one came out in '98, right? Like that was all hand-drawn apparently. Like, and I still watch the video from time to time and I'm like, whoa. Like, imagine if we had this in 2024. Yeah, I'm just like kind of clicking through the video here of Moses parting the Red Sea. And it's just like, even if you don't care about the content, like, wow, that's really fucking cool. So I just love cool stuff like that. Speaking of cool stuff, I hope to add some more stuff to the stream to make it better. I don't have any money for stream. So that's just a problem I got to get around. But like, I kind of want to do like not like a you know, like the like most VTubers, they have like a really obtrusive overlay that like if you look at it, it's like, okay, like, you know, that's their brand, but it's really distracting from like gameplay and stuff. I want to get like a minimal type thing, and I'm probably gonna have to make it myself, which is okay. I'm fine with that. But yeah, I just want to do more stuff to improve the stream from a viewing perspective, from everything like that. And I do have a lot of like cliff notes that I need to do. What about Kingdom of Heaven? Yeah, I've seen that. Kingdom of Heaven. Was that the one with the Leopard King? Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Good movie. I've watched a lot of movies that obviously these two movies are about particular topics, but I've seen a lot of these older movies just because like it's just good cinema, you know? It's just movies that like, if you don't see, even if you don't care about the content, you're missing out. Because the Kingdom of Heaven, I believe, is pretty historically correct about the battle between King Baldwin versus Al-Saladin, I believe? Was it Emir? Sultan? One of the two terms. I believe whatever their term for their culture for like king. Just good history. Like I love history films, and that's one of the reasons why I watched Kingdom of Heaven. I was like, I wonder how did they nail it? And I think they did. It's been a while, I'll be honest with you. It has been a while, but yeah, let me think. There's a few other movies that I've watched that are definitely worth the experience. Let me pull up my little list here of movies. I kind of have them organized in places, not greatly, but they're here and there. All right, I do have to go soon though, so this will be my final tangent. Hopefully that's okay. If not, then I'll pick up tomorrow, stronger than ever. Oh, yeah, I can't find it because my organization skills is on par with a fucking squirrel and a stop sign, but if you haven't and you want to, I definitely recommend Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer is a more biographical movie that's really centered around talking, but it really is, in my opinion, one of the best movies about the A-bomb ever. What's cool is that the actor for the Masked King, I forgot his name, but he even didn't want to get accredited for the role to keep the mystery going for the king. That's actually really cool. Yeah, I'm glad that he did attribute his name, though, because I think that it's really important that people who do really good jobs should get credit for doing really good jobs. And it normally never happens. But I always try to whenever I can. But yeah, if you want to watch a really good movie that you haven't before, Oppenheimer. It's long. It's like 3 hours long, I think. Let me see. So it's about 3 days of stream for me. Yeah, it's 3 hours on the dot, but it is, in my opinion, if you care about that, like, layer of history and that layer of, like, bringing reality to film, Oppenheimer nailed it. Interstellar, too, is a really good, like, a philosophical thriller as well. It's great cinema, but it's also, like, if you care about, like, you know, time as a construct as opposed to a reality. Edward Norton? Let me see here. Yeah, it looks like Oh, wow. He has a pretty illustrious career. That's awesome. Yeah, he nailed it. He did a really good job. And hopefully, even though everything's gone wrong, I hope I did a good job with this stream. So I'm going to go ahead and close it out for this today. I have to cook dinner because I didn't do that. So I'm a little bit hungry. My stomach is kind of messed up. Oh, come on. Don't call me president. Oh, God. Here we go. All right. Have a good one. Take care. Have a good one. Take care. I'll see y'all later. Bye-bye. Ah.